Thank you, David, for that wonderful introduction. This is exciting for me. As David indicated, both my daughters are graduates of Lowell High School. Yeah. So I know how your parents feel. I am excited today. The last time I was at a high school commencement was for my daughters. I want to say this is exciting for me because as I was listening to Daryl and Kayla and the other speakers, it had a moment to reflect on my high school years, and I'll talk for a few moments about that, those exciting days. But I did want to say that I was walking over here with my Director of Employment and Workforce Opportunities, and I took a deep breath and says, Todd, you're going to have to find 613 more jobs. And that's what we do in San Francisco. We look for jobs for you, and we make sure this city is successful so that when you come back from your studies, you're ready to go. Well, greetings, Principal Andrew Ishibashi. Thank you very much for inviting me here, the faculty, the staff, the administrators, school board members, and of course the students, families, and friends. I'd like to begin my remarks by sending my sincerest condolences to the family friends of Hanrin Chang. What happened was a terrible waste and calls us to action to do better, and we will do better. We will make that street safe for everybody. And I know Hanrin was a beloved member of your community, and she is in our thoughts today, even as we celebrate your achievements. I'd also like to take the opportunity to recognize 5 phenomenal Lowell High School staff members who are retiring today. They have helped shape your high school careers. Dr. Ray Hill, Lowell science teacher for 17 years. Congratulations, Dr. Hill. Tony Mana, Lowell math teacher for 41 years. Wow. Have to say, Tony, I love my math teacher. Anefsha Guest, Lowell English teacher for 13 years. Cynthia Mitchell, Lowell secretary for 39 years. Thank you. And finally, someone who's kept you safe on the campus, Ron Hodges, Lowell Security, 41 years. Thank you all for your dedication, your commitment to the youth at Lowell High School and to our great city. And now, good evening to the Lowell High School graduates, class of 2013. Go red and white. I got my red on today. With 613 students graduating today, I'd like to say congratulations to all of you. You truly represent the incredible promise that our great city of San Francisco is. Thank you, David, for your very kind introduction. As one of Lowell's student leaders, you must be very proud to be standing here in front of your class who will be graduating with you. Thank you for being such a great example to your fellow classmates and to our city's youth. And I hope Kayla, your senior class president, David, your student body president, as well as the entire Lowell graduating class of 2013 become the great community and civic leaders of San Francisco's future. Because as being your mayor, I thank the people of the city every day for the opportunity to serve San Francisco. It is a privilege to wake up each morning and to work for you, the people of our city, and to do everything I can to help all of us be successful. And as your graduation day is a day when you set off on a path to success, you'll use what you learned at Lowell to tackle the great challenges next in your life, to make a difference in this world, and make a great impact in the lives of your peers, family, your friends, and your community. Well, looking back at my graduation day in high school, I remember feeling excited, scared, nervous, and inspired to make a difference in the world. And just like you, my journey started on this very important day, graduation day. But you know, each of our lives brings different challenges, and each of you will have your own individual challenges. For me, I lost my father when I was a sophomore in high school, so I knew that my days ahead were not going to be very easy. In fact, I made up my mind as a graduate of public high school that I was pretty much going to go it alone, even though my father had reared me as a cook and my mom was a seamstress all her years, but she had 5 other kids to take care of, and I did not want to be a burden. So I was going to do what I think all of you are trained to do at Lowell High School. I was going to work my rear off to make sure I can prove myself. And if I did it on my own, more pride to be taken. As a graduating senior, I had a vision to make this world better, a better place for my family, as well as my community. After graduating from public high school in Seattle, I went to a small liberal arts college in the state of Maine. I went all the way from Seattle to Maine, a little college called Bowdoin College, and it wasn't easy. But I knew that I had to seize an opportunity, even if it meant moving away from friends and family and moving away from what I was familiar with on to take on new challenges. In fact, looking back at those years, I made the right move because I learned the East Coast. I learned now where my daughters are at so I could tell them what they were about to face. And I know that this country is tied by much more than just land, because going from the East and West Coast, you get a lot of different experiences. Well, after 4.5 years, I had enough of the East Coast, and I moved back to the West Coast here to get a law degree at UC Berkeley. And I knew that San Francisco would become my new home. As some of you may know, my background is as a civil rights lawyer working in the monolingual community of Chinatown, right here in San Francisco. Back then, my generation set out to make sure we all recognized our greatest asset as a nation, our diversity. Together, in those years, we locked arms and stood in the doorway of the International Hotel to prevent the wrongful eviction of senior Chinese and Filipino immigrants who had no money and no place to go. And today, San Francisco has some of the best tenant protections. We sued the San Francisco Fire Department to give women and people of color a chance to be a firefighter, to serve the public of San Francisco, and to dedicate their lives to public safety. Today, we have the city's first female fire chief, and our public safety agencies are more diverse than ever and just as proud and good as any other generation that the city has ever seen. I joined with others there that were just as dedicated and committed as I was to make a difference for the residents of San Francisco. Together, we help make San Francisco a different place, one that embraces and celebrates diversity. And today, San Francisco is one of the most diverse cities in one of the most diverse regions, in fact, in the world's most diverse democracy. I never thought I would ever in my lifetime see an African American as President of the United States. And I never imagined that San Francisco would have an Asian American mayor. So as mayor, one of my many goals during my term in office is to empower all of the residents and make our city even more responsive, efficient, accountable to the voice of all of our diverse communities. I value the importance of prioritizing the need of our community, and every day I'm trying to make San Francisco a place where everyone succeeds, a city for the 100%. I am honored to be working for the community, fighting for the community, and trying to help the community and our city be a better place for everyone to live, work, visit, and do business. Today, San Francisco's economy is recovering. Our unemployment rate has dropped from 9.6% when I first came into office in 2011 to an astonishing 5.4% today. We put San Franciscans back to work and gave them back the dignity of a paycheck so they can support their families. But it's still not good enough, and I'll remain focused on making sure no one is left behind. That's why we created programs like Tech SF to ensure that our long-term unemployed and youth have access to education, training, and job placement assistance. We've already trained and packed scores of people in technology jobs, and our first Tech SF graduation is this June. Last summer, I proudly joined Leader Pelosi to take up President Obama's challenge of creating summer jobs and opportunities for at-risk youth. And with our partners, we surpassed our own goal of 5,000 jobs. We got 5,204 summer jobs for kids last summer through the Jobs Plus, the Summer Jobs Plus program. And now, thanks to another great partnership with United Way, this summer, we are working even harder to make sure we find paid job opportunities for 6,000 youth in our city. Yes, we want to ensure that all of you have opportunities and skills needed to compete in the 21st century economy and workforce. That's why, with shared goals with our superintendents of schools and his board, we continue to make college the expectation, not the exception, for every San Francisco student. And with our kindergarten to college program, we're able to establish a college savings account for every kindergarten student. Can you believe that as a city? Yes. And we are working to ensure that every student, especially students of our middle schools, have the resources and opportunities to graduate ready for college. Since day one, I've been committed to our city's families, our children, and our youth, and I will remain committed. You know why? Because like most parents, I see education and training not as an expense, but as an investment. My wife, Anita, and I have been Lowell parents to both of our daughters, so I know firsthand what it's like to be a parent here in San Francisco. And I want to thank you all parents for being here, because they couldn't have done it without you. I know that. And what sacrifices your parents made, I know that, because they're investing in you as part of our future and helping you pursue your dreams. We all want you to succeed. Because as all of you embark on the next leg of your journey, I want you to remember to come back to San Francisco. I want you to come back. I want you to work here, the innovation capital of the world. I want you to come back. I want you to raise your families here. I want you to buy a house, maybe a couple, send your own kids to public school right here in San Francisco. I want you to come back and be the next generation of civic leaders, like the great philanthropists who have helped build San Francisco, like the Haas's and the Fishers, and so many more that fight for their communities and build strong neighborhoods. Yes, these names you know because they were in your shoes. They were also graduates of Lowell High School. San Francisco is the greatest city in the world. I know it. I know it. And wherever you go, you'll get to brag about that, because we are, and we know this. They love the city, we love the city. So when you succeed, whether you become the next Fortune 500 CEO or a Nobel Prize winner or a U.S. Supreme Court justice, remember to make your community and your city a better place for all. I leave you with this advice as you begin your new journey. My vision began when I was graduating high school senior, and now it is your turn to make your vision a reality. Make an impact on the future, and make your community and this world a better place. Be bold, and to quote one of my favorite movies, boldly go where no one has gone before. Congratulations, class of 2013. Go out there and change the world. Thank you.